My name is Khyrstina Smith. I just completed the web development pathway. However, in the past, I have completed the software development pathway as well. I initially reached out to GoDaddy and applied because I really enjoy programming in C++ plus plus for my hobby Arduino builds, and I wanted to see if it was a viable career change, something that I would enjoy. Needless to say, GoDaddy has inspired a lot of confidence in myself for this pathway because I am 50% of the way through my computer science degree. And I don't think I would have been brave enough to go down this path if it weren't for Code U inspiring me to learn and find out if this was right for me. So I created for my capstone project Parkopedia. Parkopedia is a web application that allows you to search for the information you would need to visit a park that's maintained by the National Park Service. And I decided to create it because learning to work with more complex third-party APIs and kind of figuring out how to work with the JSON and the data structures that are associated with those seemed really important and something I was having a little bit of a difficult time tackling. So I decided to dive right in with that. Also, I'd read quite a bit about how presenting a large amount of information to your user while keeping it approachable is a challenge in and of itself. So I, of course, wanted to see if it was possible for me to tackle that head on. So if you load into Parkopedia, you'll find on the landing page the opportunity to watch the narrated promo video I created for it. It gives you an overview of what to expect Parkopedia to be able to do, and then step-by-step instructions if you need them. However, most of the landing page kind of pushes you towards making that first search yourself. So when we do get to our search page and we're ready to search, there's a search box, which I'm sure we're all familiar with. You start putting in characters and it matches those characters to an array of US states. So as you add or remove characters, the suggestions box below the search button is updated in real time so that you can narrow down those suggestions and select the one that you're interested in. So you select from the list and press search. And then after you press search, these buttons are dynamically generated. So basically, they're created on the spot in HTML. Um, and they give you every single park that is at least partially in the state you searched for. What you can't see attached to these buttons is a 16-character park-specific ID that's assigned by the National Park Service. And so when you select one of these particular parks, that ID is saved to your browser's session storage. That's important because when we click on one of those buttons, we load a park information specific page. So it's specific to that particular park. And we make 3 automatic API calls. So basically 3 automatic requests for information. The first uses that ID to basically reach out to the National Park Service and get some basics. Images that are approved by the National Park Service, a park description, entrance fees, things of that nature. And while it isn't displayed, it also grabs the latitude and longitude of that park. Because our second automatic API call, our second request for information, is to a weather API service. And we use the latitude and longitude so that we can grab an accurate and up-to-date 4-day forecast. And I use 2 specific functions in order to take the weather that forecast that we were given, and for each day find the correct icon to represent that weather, as well as the correct status is what I ended up calling it, but it's a descriptor of that weather. So 30 degrees and misty might not be the best day to take a hike on the side of Mount Rainier. Last but certainly not least is the alerts section. That alerts request is made, and once that information has been retrieved, we need to filter it down. A lot of national parks have alerts that go back way before 2017. So I filter it down to those that were created or updated in the last 90 days so that only those that are still relevant or still possibly relevant are displayed. I then color code them based on severity, just so you can figure out if it is like a trip ending alert or a minor inconvenience of a road closure. There are a lot of other moving parts in the background of Parkopedia. Um, so if you have questions, comments, suggestions, even, feel free to stop by my breakout room after the presentations. I'd be more than happy to provide you a link to the promo video um, or answer any questions you may have. If you don't have time for that today, this is where you can find me basically. I also would really love it if anybody has the time, if you'd like to check out View from Mars. It's another project I'm currently working on that I'm really enjoying. It uses the NASA Mars Rover API to provide up-to-date information and images from the Curiosity and Perseverance rovers on Mars. Otherwise, thank you so much for making the time to be here today, and thank you for learning about Parkopedia.